I'm Chris, and I have a type of cerebral palsy called left-sided hemiplegia, which means I have less function in my left side of my body than the right.
Is it the left side of your body that's not quite?
Yeah.
So can you move this leg as much as the other as such? Like, what is the brace for?
The spin is to keep my leg at 90 because I have trouble keeping my leg on 90.
Degree.
Yeah.
Oh, do you kind of do the whole, like, you raise your foot off the
Yeah,
ground?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So basically I'm wearing a high heel shoe. I am basically a 21-year-old with the mind of a 9-year-old and the body of a 15-year-old.
I would say you're funny, and you're almost misleading, because
Like a catfish?
no, like I remember almost, because when I met you I wasn't really sure, I didn't know a lot about you, and it took me a while to actually, don't take this personally, it took me a while to actually understand what you were saying and whatnot. Because it's hard to hear your words, and then I got used to it. But I remember, like, I'd have Facebook, like, I'd kind of be like, oh, I don't really know Chris that well, and then I remember I'd talk to you over Facebook, and I could talk to you for ages, and then I started to get annoyed with myself because I found it hard to understand what you were saying for realsies, but then over Facebook it was like totally normal, it was just how it is, and I was like, and then you started bringing a whiteboard with you everywhere, and I was like, this is dank, this is so cool. And then you used to just, like, I don't even think you used it for, like, its purpose. I think you just used to write swear words on it in cursive.
I don't think my disability restricts me as such.
Yeah.
I can do basic things like walking here to there without I don't want to. I have walked up Snowdon, but if I don't want to do something.
Oh yeah, you climbed a mountain. Even I haven't climbed that mountain.
Yeah, so if I don't have.
Maybe I'm more disabled than you, Chris. Maybe I'm afflicted with laziness.
No, you're just lazy. As I was saying, if I don't want to do something, I won't do it.
There is, to a degree, you'd have to be a bit more careful about things, but which is definitely annoying, but I think you're just like, do you know what, F it, sod it, I'm doing what I want, I want to do this, so I'm going to do it. Like, even in general, I'll be a bit more courteous around you, I'll be like, do you want me to do this for you, do you want me to help you with this, that and the other, because I'll be like, it's the normative to try and assist somebody a bit more if they have difficulty, but you're just like, nah. There are people who will be limited by their disability, unfortunately, and some will be worse off than others with it, but I feel for you, you've always been like, nah, I'm going to do this, nah, I'm going to do this, and everyone's like, Chris, are you sure you want to do this? Or they'll be like, do you think this is a good idea? And you'll just be like, yeah, it's fine. Like, you won't think anything other of it, whereas other people will. So I think that's just something other people have got in their heads. And I think it's nice that you've given yourself little milestones to reach. To, like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's to prove something to yourself or to others, but I personally don't feel like you need to prove anything to other people. I think it's very clear from an instantaneous moment that you just aren't limited by your disability.
The only thing I have trouble with is getting people to understand me.
Yeah.
And even I have trouble understanding me sometimes, because when I look back at this footage, I guarantee I will have trouble understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, because you do subtitles in your videos sometimes.
Yeah. So, hats off to you for understanding me.
I don't find it too hard. It's more if you're not there physically, it's difficult. I feel like your speech has improved a lot since I first met you. At least I think it has.
Yeah.
Because I used to not be able to understand you at all.
Yeah.
Now whether that's just because I've gotten used to what you're saying, or if you've actually become a lot more audible and clear with what you're saying.
Like, I think it's worse to just be like, yeah, just nodding if you don't understand something. Because I think you probably are quite aware of that more so than anybody else, but it's just annoying if somebody's more uncomfortable to ask you what you were saying and engage properly with a conversation.
Exactly.
Than it is to just be polite and just keep being passive and agreeing with something they don't understand.
But I do try to overcome those barriers.
Yeah.
By typing in on my phone, or as you said a few weeks ago, I brought a whiteboard into this home.
Yeah, I used to bring that whiteboard everywhere. That was like a blessing in disguise for me, because I didn't want to just be like, Chris, I can't understand you. And then you just carry it around and just write words on it, so I'd be like, yes.
I know some people don't understand me because they tell me to repeat myself over and over, which is kind of useful in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, it helps you reinterpret what you're saying, and it also kind of, for me, it helps me understand like lip reading a bit better. I guess for you it probably improves pronunciation.
Yeah.
Maybe, or something like that.
Yeah. I did go to speech therapy when I was little.
Did you?
And I did used to learn sign language when I was little, but I don't particularly remember all that.
Yeah.
The only words I remember are biscuit and toilet.
Oh, okay.
And boy, go boy. I can't remember. So if I want to say, I want to go eat a biscuit in the toilet, it would be super useful.
I think people would be curious about your cerebral palsy if they didn't know you. And I would kind of just be like, yeah, it doesn't affect him. And they'd be like, what do you mean? I'm like, it literally, like, Chris is just Chris. Cerebral palsy is his bitch. Literally, it is though. It's like, how do I explain it? I just tell them like, you're a really sound dude, because you are, like, you're really cool. And they'd just be like, oh, but doesn't this get in the way of this, that, the other? And I'd be like, oh yeah, well, I found it hard to actually communicate with Chris in the first place, but after not very long, it didn't take me long, it took me a couple of months to kind of get the gist of things, but it was fine.
I don't particularly notice my disability.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what to say.
I guess it's something you live with so much that you're just kind of like,
Yeah,
you don't know any different.
It's the norm for me.
Yeah. So I'm guessing when people point it out, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I just think I think the main problem with people who don't have disability is they're afraid to offend you, or they're afraid to bring it up, or just do anything that would slightly irritate you. But don't know. I think it's more important to actually engage with that person than it is to be stepping on eggshells and trying to be polite and whatnot to them in fear of offending. Like, I think it's important that I think you're like the exemplar of it, that your disability just doesn't affect you.
People with disabilities are different. They're people.
Yeah.
They're normal people. Some are good, some are bad. Some nice, some are twat.
Douchebag disabled people.
As you know, I have 3 brothers, and I don't think they mention my disability that much.
Yeah.
Because they can roast me whatever they cause. They just roast me on my soul. If someone said to me, Chris, we can get rid of your disability, I would instantly say no.
Really?
I want my benefits.